Starcade Media here, live, SFC The Catch, powered by Verizon, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. NFL defensive tackle for the Titans, Jeffery Simmons, joining us once again. Back in action, man. Back in Fort Lauderdale. You got to love this. You got to love the off season, and this is a fun time, isn't it? You're back again for part two.
Yep, most definitely. Like I said, just to be back, my second year in a row, and I guess doing something that I enjoy doing, fishing, and getting invited to it this again. I think this is what you enjoy in the off season, finding things that you enjoy doing, and finding things that kind of got a passion for, especially with fishing. And I've been trying to get into golf, but I've been leaning more towards fishing. So I'm excited to be back this year, and hopefully myself and Mississippi, the team Mississippi could take this win.
Absolutely. And do you have any different strategies or techniques you're going to go to walk away with the win this year?
Nah, I don't think the strategy supposed to change for me. I think at the end of the day, hopefully we could just get it more, more sailfish this year.
Yeah.
I only caught one, so hopefully my strategy could be catch more than one sailfish to help my team win.
Perfect.
Do more.
Well, the setup's kind of different this year. Who you fishing with out there?
On my team, I think I'm solo. I haven't found out, is anybody else on the boat with me? Especially with fans or whoever it may be. But
you're just ready for whatever.
I'm ready for whatever. Hopefully, like I said, we could take this win.
So what's it like? Okay, you got guys that are retired from the NFL. Kyle Rudolph's out here playing Gabbert. Guys that just get to come in, they play golf every day.
Yeah.
They go fishing. They just go do their own thing. What's this like for you? You got to go to training camp in a couple months. So are these events like extra important because you get to chill out and kind of unwind a bit from the season, or is it like, man, you start feeling the season getting closer?
Yeah, nah, man. When I'm in off season, I wouldn't say full detached because I'm in grind mode, but I try to detach from thinking about the season or training camp. Of course, when you're training, you think about the game, you think about the upcoming season. But for me, I enjoy my off season. I try to enjoy my off season. I spend it with family. Like I said, I travel. I do things that I enjoy doing in the nature of, like I said, with fishing and trying to get more into golf. But I think at the end of the day, for me, I like to detach myself from the game of football because, especially my last 3 seasons, it haven't been the way I wanted to. So if you kind of just let that keep flowing to the off season, I think it'll sit on you and you won't be able to enjoy your off season that much. So I like to enjoy my off season.
Is this the only time of the year that you get to come out to somewhere like this and do this? Being in Nashville, do you ever get to do the saltwater fishing?
Well, I think when you travel like myself, I was just in Costa Rica. I actually had a fishing trip set up, but didn't make it. It was kind of too early. I ended up oversleeping, but but I think when
you were there in Rogers then, or no?
when you travel and do things in that nature, like I said, when you enjoy doing things, you find ways to do it, no matter if it's saltwater or whatever. Like I said, right there in Nashville,
freshwater, yeah.
Yeah, with the freshwater. Like I said, I went fishing 2 weeks ago. On Old Hickory Lake in Nashville. So, like I said, of course, like coming to events like this is more set up, and this is a big deal down here in Fort Lauderdale. So, outside of that, my biggest thing be let me get on that fresh water. Like I said, I enjoyed deep sea. Last year was my first time ever deep sea fishing, and I was like, I want to do this more. So hopefully I could get some more trips under my belt.
You talked about teammates that you'd like to fish with or that you wouldn't want to fish with. When it comes down to that, is it pretty easy, like in the locker room, to pretty quickly to tell? Like you talked about, like Keandre Coburn, who played in Kansas City, where we're from, that was maybe a city guy. Is that kind of how the locker room divides? Like it's real easy to tell, like the country guys and the city guys come in there.
Yeah, you know who, because everybody, I think, when it come down to your locker room, especially like me, I've been in with Tennessee for 6 years. See guys come and go, but I think when you're a leader, especially with myself being the captain, you try to figure out what your teammates like. You try to figure out who your teammate really is off the field. So you kind of figure out fast exactly what this a city guy. Like I had a former teammate, Daquan Jones, and I was talking to him last night. He said, bro, I'm afraid, like I'm terrified of fish. Like, and I'm like, and he's a city boy. He grew up in New York, and so now I'm like, that makes sense. But yeah, I think it's be pretty obvious for me. Like I said, I grew up in the South. I know when guys got a little country in them.
Yeah, and you guys got a new GM, came from Kansas City, Mike Borgonzi, the assistant general manager. Now your guys' official general manager, and of course, Ladarius Sneed there. I know you talk about like not wanting to look ahead to the season. You're in the off season, but you do have the Chiefs coming to town. And the last time they came to town, you gave Mahomes' worst loss, 27-3.
I don't remember that. I don't think that score is right. I'm gonna have to look at
it.
That
is.
up.
I just had a nightmare about it reoccurring
Okay.
over and over.
Was that the one we knocked him out the game?
I think he came out. I think he.
Yeah, we put a whooping on him that game.
But it seems to be the trend when he loses like that. So.
They end up. I think we went to him later that year, or was it a playoff or whatnot? They end up beating us, maybe the following year. But it's always great to play Kansas City. Especially in the trenches with me and Trey Smith. That's a great battle each and every time we play against each other. Much respect to the Chiefs and what Coach Andy doing over there. Everyone want to beat the Chiefs. It's kind of like the LeBrons of the NFL. When you have guys who winning and you have winners, guys like Mahomes. Everyone want to sack Mahomes. But I said at the end of the day, I look forward to every time I see the Chiefs on the schedule. That's one of them games that, like I said, everybody watching. No matter if it's a 12 o'clock game, or it's a night game. People got their eyes on Mahomes and they want to watch Mahomes. So and I always tell my young boys, when you play against teams like this is how you solidify yourself in the NFL. So I'm looking forward to playing them this year, and like I said, hopefully we could take care of business.
Come on, man.
And if you have any say in it at all, that game would be a perfect one. You guys, I think, are approved to 4 times wear the throwbacks. It's the best throwback in the NFL, is it not? The Oilers throwbacks? You like wearing those?
I love Oilers uniform, but I wouldn't say I want to wear them against the Chiefs, though.
I get it.
Those. I keep it, especially against the Texans, because it just pisses them off so much.
That's true.
When we put them on and play the Texans every year, you see it every year on Twitter. The fans just talking about it. That's our uniform, this and that. But
they could have been the Oilers if they really wanted to when they had a team.
Yeah.
If they really wanted to wear them.
Right. They should have never let us go.
Well,
but yeah, I enjoy wearing them uniform. It's the color wave is sick.
You came in a year after Chris Jones at Mississippi State. Did he have any, pull, any sort of like, were you kind of aware of his greatness at that point when he went in that 16 draft? You were just getting to Mississippi State. So has he had kind of any influence on your career at all?
Well, man, I would say especially my first couple years, I always used to talk to Chris. I used to talk to him. Chris, a Mississippi boy. It was funny because him and my brother actually graduated the same year at high school. I remember Chris. I was a freshman. Chris and them came down to, Knox County and played his senior year. Of course, didn't end well for Chris and them, but that's kind of when I started to hear about Chris Jones. And then, of course, I didn't know I was going to Mississippi State at first. That was like a night before signing day thing. But I always used to go to schools like Alabama, Ole Miss, and Mississippi State, which all was so close to where I grew up at. So, of course, I knew who Chris Jones was. I'm like, this guy's a beast. Like, watched him when he was at Mississippi State, especially when he first got in the NFL. I'm like, this dude is real deal. But especially being right there from Mississippi, that's all you hear. He's a Mississippi boy. He's a Mississippi boy. And like I said, a guy who, I want to say my first Pro Bowl, a lot of people don't even know that, Chris Jones is the reason why I went to my first Pro Bowl. He was, I think I was second. I was the first alternate. And I think that year, I forgot what year it was. I don't know. It was 21 maybe.
Yeah.
And that year they went to the playoff, deep in the playoff. Mm-hmm. And I remember he called me. He was like, welcome to your first Pro Bowl. Congratulations, whatever, And, we were talking leading up to it. And when Chris Jones called me, it was like, I'm going to let you go to the Pro Bowl. Welcome to your first Pro Bowl. And it meant a lot to me. That's because, awesome. Like I said, he was a guy that I looked up to, that I used to text, and, we done chopped it up. I done been to his house and just talking about the game of football with him. that meant a lot to me. Being a Mississippi boy, Mississippi State Bulldog, and like I said, that's something that I never forget. I cherish that for the rest of my life, and that's just that goes on. I'm sure you guys know about the work he does in Kansas City. Just shows the type of person he is off the field too.
We're trying to get him back here. We had him here 2 years ago, and we just can't make it happen. That's going to be on you, I think, going forward.
Next year.
His agents are tough to penetrate.
Chris, welcome to SFC. He welcomed you to the Pro Bowl.
He got a good team around him. I like the Katz brothers, and but hopefully we could get him to back over here next year.
Absolutely. And just kind of last thing for me here is I know you don't want to say who you would want the Titans to pick at number 1, but just say like Mike Borgonzi calls you, says, hey man, we're passing on the quarterback. You're a captain. You're a leader on this team, especially the defense. Would you rather have Travis Hunter or a shutdown corner alongside Snead to help you on the D-line, or would you rather have Abdul Carter lining up next to you?
I got some young bulls that played last year that played a lot of snaps at corner. Jarvis Brownlee, who I think going to be a hell of a player in this league, which I think he had a pretty solid rookie year. So it's only right, and I've been telling everybody, you give me an edge player, defense win championship. I don't care how you look at it. I mean, I know you guys hate to hear it, but
we found out, did we not?
That's what I'm saying.
Trent McDuffie, Snead when he was here.
Look at the Super Bowl when you have 9 sacks, you only blitz twice. When you got a dominant defensive front and linebackers that can play off each other, that's how you win games, no matter who at quarterback or goes to say at corner. So
perfect.
Jeffery Simmons, best of luck here tomorrow. SFC The Catch, powered by Verizon. Thanks for sitting down with this
champion.
man. Yes, welcome. Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you guys.